Jake's fingers trembled as he unlocked his apartment door. The silence inside felt heavier than the truth he'd just learned. Emily had been lying to him. Not once, not casually, but deliberately, carefully. He stepped in, shut the door, and leaned against it, trying to steady his breathing. His phone was already in his hand before he realized what he was doing. He dialed her number. Each ring stretched longer than the last. When she finally answered, her voice was barely there. "Jake." He swallowed hard. "We need to talk." That night, the walls of his apartment felt like they were closing in. He couldn't sit still. Every memory of Emily now carried a question mark. Every smile, every late-night call. What had been real? His phone buzzed. Emily. He stared at her name, letting it ring once, twice, 5 times before answering. "I'm at the pier," she said softly. "Please come." Rain soaked through Jake's clothes as he walked the empty streets. Neon lights blurred through the water in his eyes. Mark's earlier words kept replaying in his head. Half explanations, half warnings, none of them making sense. She didn't have a choice. Jake clenched his fists. That wasn't good enough. By the time he reached the pier, the storm had fully settled in. Waves crashed violently beneath the wooden boards. Emily stood at the far edge, her figure small against the dark water. Mark was beside her. Jake slowed, his chest tightening. The same place. Their first kiss. Their beginning. Now it felt like an ending. Emily turned as he approached. Her eyes were red, her face pale. "Jake." "Start talking," he said, his voice colder than he intended. Mark stepped forward, hesitating. "I'll explain." Jake shot him a look. "Why are you explaining anything?" Mark exhaled shakily. "Because I'm the reason she lied to you." Silence fell between them, broken only by the rain. Emily shook her head, tears slipping down her cheeks. "No, I chose this. I chose to lie." Jake's heart twisted. "Then tell me why." Mark ran a hand through his wet hair. "Emily's been hiding. From people who don't forgive mistakes. People who don't stop looking." Jake frowned. "What are you talking about?" "They threatened her," Mark continued. "Her life, and anyone close to her." Jake's stomach dropped. Emily stepped closer, her voice breaking. "I didn't tell you because I didn't want you involved. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be safe." "So everything was fake?" Jake asked quietly. Her eyes widened. "No, never that. I love you. That was the only real thing I had left." The rain came down harder, drumming against the wood beneath their feet. Jake turned away, gripping the railing as his thoughts spiraled. Love, lies, danger. It all tangled together until he couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. "You should have trusted me," he said. "I was trying to protect you," she whispered. Mark looked between them, tension etched across his face. "There's more you need to know." Jake glanced back, irritation flashing. "What now?" Mark hesitated, and that hesitation said everything. Jake's chest tightened. "What aren't you telling me?" Mark's voice dropped. "The people after Emily, they didn't just find her by accident." A cold chill cut through Jake, sharper than the rain. "They had help," Mark said. Emily's expression crumbled. "Mark, don't—" But it was too late. Mark looked Jake straight in the eye. "Someone close to you tipped them off." The world seemed to tilt beneath Jake's feet. "Someone you trust," Mark added. Jake's breath hitched as 1,000 faces ran through his mind. Friends, colleagues, people he'd never questioned. Out there, somewhere in the shadows, one of them was watching, waiting. And suddenly, the rain didn't feel like the only thing closing in.